Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking Muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Muggles.
Accidental rib job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
This is Cream speaking. This is just a very quick warning for this episode. If you are not a fan of the Amsterdam episode, I would definitely just wait until Monday's episode comes out, because this is going to be either as good if you enjoyed it or as awful as the Amsterdam one.
I had so much fun in the Amsterdam episode.
Here he is, the problem with the current podcast.
I'm a little bit drunk.
A little bit?
And other stuff, but mainly drunk.
So basically, first of all, Muggins won an award.
Yeah, I'm fucking the best in the fringe. Touch me.
Well, according to...
Well, comedy is subjective. The people that chose that I was the best in the fringe had seen every single show that was at the fringe.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of the shows, and went, well, it's definitely Muggins.
No, Muggins, straight in.
The fourth awards.
So you won, and you didn't know you were coming up for the...
Man,
Hold on, well, let's go into this in a second. We have something we need to clear first of all.
Let's do this now.
No.
Gene's going to hang around for this. We'll get to Gene in a second.
Okay. So you came up this morning thinking that you had basically been booked to do a non-paid 10-minute corporate gig on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I was so annoyed.
And you, with your blossoming career, was like, sure.
Man, like... Because, you know, I would be such a doormat. Every single gig that I'd do, I would do for free if it wasn't for my agent, our agent, working.
You do it all for free.
Right? I would be a fucking doormat. So when she said, well, you come up and do this gig for free, I was like, well, you said it, so yep.
Yeah.
So I was coming to Edinburgh to do a gig for free. Like flying to Edinburgh.
Then asked to stay with me, didn't even attempt to pay any rent for
From London.
The 16 hours he would be in the house.
50% of the nothing I'm getting paid for this gig. But the whole reason I was getting brought up to do this gig was because I'd won an award.
You'd been nominated and you had won the award. So I was told, so I knew you were coming to this 2 weeks ago. Marlena told me, our agent.
Did you know I was winning?
Yes. So she was like, Kai in 2 weeks is going to come on the Wednesday. Is it okay to stay with yours? She explained the whole thing, because the same thing happened to Craig Hill last year. And she was like, don't tell Kai. And in my head, I'm like, why would I do anything to make Kai's day ever? Like, why? How is this in any of my interests? And then 2 days ago, she phoned. She's like, he's still cool to stay with yours. Don't tell me anything. He's got no idea. And I'm like, again, first of all, forgot about the whole thing. Second of all, if it makes him happy, Cream ain't doing it. And then today, you came into the house at about 10 in the morning. I slept in.
Maybe earlier. I left London at 4:30.
Yeah. So you get...
Fuck, man, I started so early.
You get into the house, I'm still asleep, you wake up, and I'm like, oh God, I've got to drive him to the award ceremony that I know he's winning. Marlena said to make sure he's in a good mood. So the first thing I did was, hey Kai, I've rolled you a joint, you should smoke most of this joint. It's just a gig. You're just doing 6 minutes. No one's going to remember it.
I got so high at 10 o'clock this morning. So high. Before the gig, but not just that, before being presented an award in front of like fucking...
That I knew you were going to get, but you had no idea. So you were just doing...
got me so fucked up before the award even started. It was a nice high though.
That's what good friends do.
Arguably tonight, my acceptance speech was better than my gig.
Oh, really?
Because the gig was...
Because it was shorter?
The gig... the gig was fun because they were like, oh, you've won the award, now do a gig. And I was like, oh, fuck, so I've won an award, now I've got to prove to everyone why I won it. Like, there's a bit of pressure on me.
And at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like, Jesus.
Yeah. And you know who else was on the show tonight?
Michael Bisping.
Paul Young.
Oh, don't know who that is.
Sings,
Will Young's dad.
Hey, what did Paul Young sing again? We'll put it on before. It doesn't matter, you went there. I was thinking of Craig Hill. I get you and Craig Hill confused all the time. Gene. That's Gene, by the way. We've got Gene in the room. Mike and the Mechanics. Looking back over my shoulder.
So Kai's been drinking since 2 is the point, and this is...
What I'm saying is I shared a stage with
and I'm just giving you information. So you've been drinking since 2, and
since
it's
12.
now...
Sorry, 12.
12. Oh,
we
yeah.
turned up at 12 for the meal.
Yeah, and it's now 1:30 in the AM of the day after.
Oh,
so
I've been drinking for days.
I know. Andy's a fucking pussy-ass lightweight. So that's all I was...
Never.
Now, before we go any further, some of you may remember on the Jammy Pockets episode number
Episode
5.
4?
I think it was 5 actually. On
Jammy
the podcast.
Pockets. It's called
Jammy Pockets. I made a revelation about me basically being not a so good friend to Jean, my best friend in the whole world. Basically, I stole her pen, and then she accused me of stealing her pen, and I thought I'd given it her back, and then I realised I hadn't given it her back, but I'd made such a big point about giving her it back that I basically snuck it into play where she basically thought that, yeah, she'd fucked up, and I thought it was funny.
Jean was so upset she wrote a diary entry.
So we've got...
we have got Jean's diary.
Can I just get Kai's microphone and then we can have it out? Because this is really between me and you, Danny.
Right.
I believe, like...
Over to Jean.
We want the... we want the Kai commentary while this is going on.
Okay, well, we don't know
All
what
right.
it sounds.
You guys share a mic. I'll be here on this one.
So, I just want to put my...
First of all, say hi to the listeners. If anyone heard you
Oh,
before.
hello. I'm Jean.
There's hundreds and thousands of them.
Hi, all hundreds and thousands of you. I just want to say that I was very upset by this whole incident because I don't think Danny mentioned... I'm just going to take the full mic here. I don't think Danny mentioned on the podcast that I actually cried after that pen incident. I
She
sat
cried
in
like a
my
bitch.
room.
She cried like a little bitch.
I was very, very harsh on her because I'd been woken up after 4 hours sleep in it.
He was very mean, and when he came up and found the pen instantly, he snuck it into his hand and found it instantly. He turned to me. I was like, I tried so hard to find that pen. I looked at every bit of that quote. I was so sure it wasn't there. And he just looked at me so furious and went, "You just don't try hard enough." And then stormed back to bed.
It's cold.
And I felt so bad.
It's cold-blooded.
It
Daniel,
also goes back to me being absolutely terrible at looking for things in general. It's become a running theme at
he's
work.
played that against you.
Like,
Daniel's a monster.
It was already
He's a
an
monster.
insecurity of mine.
Jean.
And I had a little bitch cry in my room, and then I collected myself and I went up to Danny, who was
No,
sitting in the living room.
Jean. You didn't collect yourself and go up with Danny. You wrote a diary entry.
That is how I collected myself,
Right.
so that I could go
Hold
to
on, hold
Danny
on.
and tell Danny that I had just cried over the incident
Jean,
that had happened.
Read out your diary entry.
Hold on, let me just explain what this is. Jean has a very rational but slightly weird way of dealing with things. Is if she's ever mad, she'll write it down first before she sends the message or does the... Is that fair to say?
I mean, this is fair to say, but Jean, I love the idea of when
Sometimes I just cry and write in a diary.
Yeah, okay. Well,
when Jean broke up with a boy.
No,
she
no,
had
I'm
a
already
no,
cutting this
no,
out.
no,
Stop
no,
right there.
no, no,
No,
no.
this
No,
is-
hold on. Jean is smiling. She had a diary of the text she wanted to send, and I suggest anyone does this if you break up with a person and you want to text them and you want to just be like, "Oh, I seen you on Facebook, but you haven't replied to my text." Just write the text in the diary. Right? She had a little psychopath diary that she wrote the text that she shouldn't have sent.
it's like
It's beautiful.
no, it's yeah. Let's sorry.
No. This is what people want to hear. It's very funny. Jean,
but it doesn't-
what you do is hilarious. It's also hilarious that you write a diary and you wrote a diary the day that Daniel hid your pen. And you knew he hid your pen, but you're really mad because you thought you'd lost it. Read your diary entry out. Please, please, please.
No, pass me the pen and the.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just get the diary now. Who's going to read it, Daniel or Jean? Jean wants to read it.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
All right.
Put it on your phone.
They're just finding the page. Oh.
So, basically, after I was irrationally mean to you, which I admit,
So mean.
and I regretted it instantly. It wasn't like a late burn. It was like the second I saw the look in your face, I was like, ah, God. But then I also needed bed. So, you know, sometimes you need to, don't go to bed angry, but go to bed wrong, and you might wake up right.
Just go to bed after you've made your best friend cry.
Yeah, you know, that old wives' tale. So, you went and you did a very rational thing. Instead of shouting at me, you went to your diary and...
Well, I didn't think that I could shout at you because I thought I was fully in the wrong and also stupid. And I felt very sad because I felt so stupid. And after I found this out, I went and found my diary and I found the entry that I wrote because I remember writing this, being in tears and knowing knowing I was insane.
Gene, did
knowing
you write this with the pen that Daniel gave you?
I
That he
did,
found in his pocket?
Yeah, and I specify that in the entry. Like, I was fully aware of how much of an overreaction it was, but I could
Here we
not
go.
stop my
But
feelings.
just before, I've apologised fully, and I'm fully aware that I'm fully wrong in all of this.
Okay,
Dear
so
Diary.
so it doesn't start Dear Diary. This
Say
is
Dear
written.
Diary at the beginning.
Okay, I will. This is written as if it was written by a 7-year-old, but that is because I was crying
It's in
like
crayon.
a 7-year-old. So, Dear Diary, Danny took this pen yesterday and I couldn't find it today, and he told me it was in his jacket pocket, but I couldn't find it when I looked. And I looked for ages and felt every inch of his coat and found nothing. And then he found it within a second and he was mad at me and he said, "You just don't try hard enough." And I felt shitty about that because it's probably true and I'm awful at looking for things to the point that it's actually embarrassing. And now I'm crying and I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me today.
Daniel, you are a
And
monster.
then I went up after I collected myself and I stopped being a little bitch. I went up to the living room and I looked at Danny as he was watching Scrubs like nothing was wrong. And I went, "Danny, do you know what I just did? I just cried over that whole pen scenario." And he went, "Aw." And at no point made me feel better. I was sad all the time.
But Gene, he told me immediately.
Yeah,
He told me
no.
the minute we bumped heads.
Look, the thing is hindsight is 2020. If Hitler was alive today, I'm pretty sure he would look back at all of his actions and be like, "All right, lads, I did go a bit far there. That was hands up."
Daniel, Cream, do you know what I'm
Muggins.
the maddest at
Yeah,
in this whole situation?
yeah,
Is that Gene hasn't listened to episode 5 yet.
yeah. That was the thing.
This is episode 15.
Like,
She's 10 episodes behind. She claims to be our best friend, and she doesn't know about the Jamie Pockets episode.
Jean could have been angry about this 5 weeks ago had she been as loyal as all of our true friends. But she found out today when we were like, "Hey, have you been listening to the podcast?" She was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Are you mad at me?" She's like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, some didn't listen to episode fucking 5.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a recent one. That was weeks ago.
So he upset just you, Gene.
But you upset both of us.
Gene, you upset both of us.
So now I think I'll find that's us even. So apology retracted.
I mean, if anything, you guys are even, but Gene owes me an apology.
Yeah, I think you do.
Well, or Gene fucking winging like you give her.
Oh,
Like, I need to stitch Gene up the way you did just to get her back. Fun
it
little
might take you
story,
well.
I guess.
Right, should we go for a joint break?
I mean, I want a cigarette or something.
Oh, flirt.
So we took a little pause there for a spliff. We've worked out Daniel's a monster.
Yep, definitely. So should we go into our first
That's a
key?
personality trait you need to work out. Like, you stitched her like fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. Like, I've never said I'm a perfect person. Other people have said it, and I've agreed with them. Well, I've not corrected them, but
I go around lying to people saying you're perfect.
on my behalf.
Yeah.
You're-
Like, oh, Daniel's great, there's nothing wrong with him. Apart from that psychopathic tendency he's got to stitch his friends up. Oh, what's this? Gin and iron brew?
Yeah, we've run out of booze in the house. It's now like 2 a.m.
Yeah, when you and Gene had the microphones before, I was trying every wine bottle to see if there's anything in. There's nothing.
Oh, here's before we go into our games, I should point out we had a fucking lovely experience tonight. So Kai obviously won the award, but Craig Hill, great Scottish comedian who
Flamboyant gay guy.
Yeah,
Flamboyantly gay.
but I've known him as long as I've been in the
Love
comedy
him.
industry because I've toured with him and just.
We do all of our previews for the Fringe with Craig.
Yeah, he's one of my very, very good friends. So it's,
Fantastic comedian too.
so it's us two, Craig Hill. Eventually our agent goes home after a couple of drinks. And for those of you that don't know Craig Hill, he is a Scottish comic. Normally
Craig
wears
was wearing tonight, he was wearing a blue velvet jacket, suit jacket, with a tuxedo top and bow tie and a blue kilt.
Yeah, and that's very toned down from his regular thing, which is a pink kilt.
Or leather kilt.
Yeah. He's just a great.
So when I was choosing what to wear for the award show,
you didn't want to clash with him.
Natalie went. My girlfriend, everyone knows Natalie at this point. She went, ring Craig and see what he's wearing, as if I was gonna like align what I was wearing with Craig Hill.
Yeah.
Like as if I was gonna go, oh, you're wearing a fucking velvet top and a blue kilt. Oh yeah.
I'll borrow my dad's.
That's what I was gonna wear anyway.
So we were out with Craig Hill tonight, and just to sort of preset the story, one of the most hypocritical moments of my life, you know, when you realise when you're young, and then you grow up and you realise that you were wrong about something.
Yes.
So I'm out with
Aware of that.
Craig Hill out in Kuala Lumpur, and we're just chatting away, and I just naturally...
What we're talking, 2011?
2009.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's my first trip abroad, having fun with Craig. Now, just being a young fucking lad...
We have floppy hair.
Yeah, floppy hair, flicking them away. I start telling some sex stories, because we got on top of sex, so I tell him like a funny sex story that happened to me. And he then told me one, and it was about him in I won't reveal the story because that's his right to tell. But it was basically him in a gay sex situation, and I remember being 19 and being like, "Oh man, I can't believe he's told me this," and I'm like, "Oh god, this is technically exactly what I've done to him." Like anytime he's describing gay sex,
you've told a gay guy a heterosexual sex story, and then you're getting a little bit awkward by him telling the homosexual
the most
sex
hypocritical.
story.
If anything, he's more disgusted by my story. He's like, vagina.
Yeah, vajayjay.
Yeah. Unknown territory. Like, and just sort of tonight going out with him was one of the moments where you just you chat, and you swap fucking stories, and you realise how occasionally, sometimes, there is something appealing about being gay.
You know what's funny about Craig Hill? He'll point out a guy that he thinks is good looking, and I'm like, he looks just like you. He picks guys that look like him, which isn't like, now it makes a lot of sense. You're gonna make yourself look the way that you find attractive,
Yep.
right? If you're attracted to the same sex, then why would you not dress and do your hair and like look
exactly the way
and appear the way that you want to be? Yeah, so I find it funny that he loves people that looks like him.
Oh, we had a
I bet he
game.
wanks in the mirror.
Oh, well, who doesn't?
I do actually.
What, into it?
I check myself in the mirror when I'm wanking.
What, just to check you're still there?
See what I've got. I'm in good nick at the minute. I've been working out. Sometimes I'm jacking off and I look and I'm like, looking good, bosh.
And then now you look in the mirror and Natalie's behind you and then she's not there.
Stop watching us wanking. I thought you were asleep.
I mean, I was going for it. She
Yeah,
was a
but sleep,
vampire, but
baby.
that was equally a weak bit. Shall we save this by going into everyone's favourite game? Muggle.
What's everyone's favourite on Muggle Corner?
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of tweets about Muggle stuff. I think we can last for the next few weeks on requests.
Oh, yeah.
And keep them coming, guys. I fucking love getting tweets about Muggle Corner.
Yeah, because sometimes you say, I've had at least 2 tweets for a Muggle Corner reference, which the only reason I wouldn't have suggested it is because I realise it's something I do. Then someone goes, people who do this, and I'm like, oh, I do that. Oh, no, that is muggly as fuck.
Yeah, I've got to bring that up.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know at this point, Muggles is a slightly derogatory term that me and Kai and you now use for people that are just a bit plain, bit simple. Nothing wrong with them, not bad people, but just not interesting every... Or twice a
vanilla
year.
people.
Yeah.
Ready salted people.
Yeah. No, not even just ready salt. Ready salted where you've got to add in the pack of fucking salt with
But you
it.
haven't added the salt, you've been plain.
No, you were
Full
on a
plain.
diet, so yeah.
You're a plain person. So I'm going to start the Muggle Corner with a suggestion that if you get a tattoo of your own name on your skin, you're a fucking Muggle, son.
Do people get tattoos of their own name?
Oh, yeah, people get their name. People get their last names. People get that
Are you calling Conor McGregor a Muggle?
fucking Conor McGregor. If you've got Conor McGregor written on
You're
your
calling
skin,
at least
you're
60% of
fucking
UFC fighters Muggles.
Muggles, mate. Also, not
Bold
just-
stance.
not-
Bold stance.
Not just your own name. If you get your kids' names tattooed on you, Muggle. If you get your kid's date of birth tattooed on your skin, Muggle. If you get your date of birth tattooed on you, you're a fucking Muggle, son. Who the fuck gets their names like reminder? Is that like, isn't that something you should just know without it being tattooed on your skin?
Yeah, also, like...
I know my name, I know my kid's name, I know my date of birth, I know my kid's date of birth. I don't need a permanent reminder and ink on my flesh.
Yeah, and also, if you need a permanent reminder, you've got a fucking iPhone. It's connected to the cloud.
Yeah.
Just ask them.
You can put an alarm on that. Try putting an alarm on your tattoo when it's your fucking...
Oh, man, say this, right? So, the other day, I got a notification on my phone that said 2 years ago, our good friend Milo McCabe, his first daughter, and was born. So the day I remember Milo phoning me after she was born, I put the reminder in my diary, Nate's birthday, every year, forever.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, Milo's lovely wife Liza gets pregnant again, and Milo decides to make me godfather. And I remember the day that he phoned me and texted me saying, like, she's been born. I was just like, oh, you've been a godfather for years. This is my first one. And I remember being really, really overwhelmed and just like so thankful. But because I was so excited, I didn't save the date in my phone.
So you still don't know Ava's birthday?
I've got no idea what my god.
But it's not a bad thing to ask.
Well, no,
it's not like if you ask him, he's not going to be like, "How dare you?"
Well, this
He's
comes
gonna
up.
answer the
I
question.
literally had this conversation with him the other day when we were on tour. I said,
In Amsterdam, Milo
Yeah.
joined us in Amsterdam.
No. This I was texting him from
Okay.
Finland. I was like, "Happy birthday to Anae," and he was like, "Oh, great." And I was like, "She's 2 now. She's fucking great." He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "When's Ava's birthday?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Your goddaughter, when's her birthday?" I'm like, "Oh, you know." He's like, "I'll give you 20 quid if you can name the month." And I was like,
You had no idea. He put you on the spot.
"Man, he could give me a fiver for half the year, and I'm still not confident I get that fucking money."
Yeah, I've got 5 godchildren.
Oh.
I've got them all written in my diary when their birthdays are. There's one coming up on the 18th of November.
Shout out to you. What's his name?
Kaylee.
Oh, weird name for a boy.
Kaylee Grassy.
Snitch.
Man up. Man up, stuff can't sell Kaylee.
Anyway, back
you got Chris and John.
If you've got tattoos of names, well, arguably, let's tell this story. You have a tattoo on your left shoulder.
Yeah, but not... Oh, come on.
Oh, no, it is
Don't bring
technically,
this up.
it's a name.
Right, let me start this from scratch. Right,
No, let me tell the quick version, because we're already...
that's cool.
All right.
Right, me and Carl Donnelly were in Melbourne at the Comedy Festival doing the Best They Had Fest. It was the golden ticket. Our fucking faces were on the trams. Like, it was a joyride of a month.
We've told this story in the podcast before, that's why I'm...
We've told the story on the podcast before. I got the Naughty Boys tattooed on my shoulder with Carl
NB
Donnelly.
on your left shoulder.
NB. It was meant to look like a passport stamp. It looks like a Chupa Chups lolly. But regardless, NB, Naughty Boys on my left shoulder. It wasn't
And-
until I got back, my girlfriend, Natalie, told me that this was my ex-girlfriend, Nicola Beatty's initials.
So you're arguably Muggle corner.
So I've got my ex-girlfriend's initials tattooed on my shoulder. But by
Accidentally.
accident, it meant Naughty Boys.
But, I mean, the odds of that happening, like 26 letters.
I mean, I didn't go in and go, "Oh, hey, Carl, will me and you both get my ex-girlfriend's initials on my arm to come
I mean,
on
it's,
my back?"
it was weird of him to commit to that, having never met her. But you know what? If your love was strong enough for her...
This isn't even recent ex. This is like from the age of 17 to 21.
Oh, just like me and Smurfette.
Can I chime in for a second? I would argue that tribal tattoos are arguably as muggly a tattoo as
I'm
name
inclined
tattoos.
to agree.
You know what?
And Kai, can you just list all of the tattoos that you have, please?
I've got tribal tattoo on my ribs. I've got a tribal tattoo on my chest, and I got them when I was about 18-year-old, which was when tribal tattoos were.
Yeah, when they were invented.
fashionable.
You know, the Maoris invented them in,
people say to me-
1996, when the
people say to
Maoris
me-
famously got all the tribes in Africa, Western Africa, so all those ones. 1998 was when they got those done.
And they accepted me in that tribe. But Daniel, people say to me, "Oh, you've got tribal tattoos. Are you in a tribe?" Fuck yes, I'm in a tribe. I'm in a tribe of working class people who also have tribal tattoos, who would fucking kick shit out of anybody if I put the flare in the air.
Yeah.
If I said, "Look, people of Blythe, I'm in trouble. Everyone come to my rescue," there would probably be a bunch of people who also had tribal tattoos.
I feel like if I was to get like a can of Monster Energy and shine a really like bright torch through it, and the Monster Energy sign was to go in the sign, every person, including you, with a tribal tattoo would turn up at the top of fucking Arthur's seat, like the bat signal for
What?
fucking dweebs.
Man, we are a tribe. People with tribal tattoos have got each other's back.
Yeah, I mean,
Soldiers. We'll go to war together.
yeah, I mean they also marked people during the Holocaust, but yeah.
Right? Anybody with a tribal tattoo, you're not a Muggle. You're my boy.
Yeah, and if you are that person, go join your boy in the corner and be a goddamn Muggle with him. 30 seconds in the corner.
However, this was not brought up. Gene interjected with the tribal tattoos and Muggle. Stand in the corner and wait for your turn. Because,
No, it's my turn.
Because
I've done
my
one.
turn.
No, you did the first
My
one.
turn. Yeah, my turn was. If you've got your child's name, if you've got
yeah.
your name, if you've got a date of birth, you're a Muggle.
You are a Muggle, yeah.
Right? Tribal tattoo, fucking legend.
But also
you keep,
Muggle.
You also keep representing. Keep representing the crew.
I think that's the point of tattoos. You can't really stop representing. You make a choice, and then that's your opinion for
forever.
life.
Hey, if you're in my tribe, do the 2-finger salute. And if your fingers, throw them in the air. Me and you, boy.
I'm so sorry,
Red
regular
tribe.
listeners. More sorry to the new ones who have left by now. My one for Muggle Corner. Muggles go to radio award shows on Wednesdays.
The one I just won.
Yeah, Muggles do
The
that.
award show that I just fucking
Yeah.
went in, stormed in, took all the trophies.
Are you telling me that every person at the after party was not a fucking Muggle?
Everyone was dressed slick.
Were the Muggles dressed like?
I hate dressing slick, man. I hate putting a tie on. Every time I put a tie on, I'm like, I'm not being told how to dress.
Right.
This ain't my decision.
I mean, I'm putting a tie on and I'm not even wanking to fucking
I'm not even going to court.
bukkake. What's...
Why am I putting a tie on when I'm not in a custody battle? Going to TV award shows on a Wednesday. Man, we were drunk by 3 p.m.
Yeah. Well, I was not. I was...
We sound like Muggles.
You do, because you were there. I just turned up for the booze. Like a legend.
Go with 5.
We did go through 5 bottles of Prosecco. But my point is, you agreed to have that after party. That was a bunch of... And I'm not...
Oh, man,
I'm not shitting on it.
The small talk of that event killed me. Like, people just... The schmoozing. The rubbing shoulders with people. The hobnobbing. Oh, my God. I can't deal with that shit, man.
So, basically, for those of you that don't know what happened today, Kai went to ceremony, the 4th one, not thinking he was going to win, won. I joined him at the after party. You come in with your award. I bought you a bottle of Prosecco. I'm a good friend. I'm a nice person. To you, not Gene, obviously. Priorities. And then at one point, someone comes over, recognizes Craig Hill and goes, big fan. She turns to me and goes, congratulations. And I'm like, on what? And she's like, your award tonight. I thought your set was great. And I'm like, do you think I'm... And she's like, you won the award for... And I'm like, no, this is the worst thing any human being's ever
You're
did.
confused for me.
Oh, mate, that's the highest form of insult. Like, you can call me anything onto this fucking planet, but claiming I look like you for even in dark light, like, that's still offensive. And she's like, I'm like, it's him. And she goes, oh, so it is. And then just doesn't give a shit.
I
But
don't know if I
then,
can stand for this.
no, I guess worse. We get my jacket on the way out. The guy goes, oh, man, that bit about you when you look younger, because you did your stuff about you.
When I pulled the picture
Yeah,
out.
of you as a kid.
Man of the house.
He looked at that photo and then looked at my face and recognized my face as that photo. And I swear
Yes.
to God, that old guy nearly died tonight. Like, I've never been more insulted by anything in my life.
Been getting mistaken for my
Oh,
childhood photo.
Jesus. Like, that's...
Mate, you should be grateful.
You look like me in a fucking fucked up hall of mirrors. Where also the hall of mirrors reflect broken versions of the career.
How did you think you were me when you never smile?
That is true. That is true. You never see me smile when I'm in your company, but that's, I can't even finish that. That's not true. You made me laugh harder than anyone.
Thanks, Daniel.
Soz Bay. We went hard at each other, but I just thought we'd let
Yeah,
it
but boy, you should get a
right.
tribal tattoo. baby.
But you do agree that everyone there was Muggles tonight, therefore everyone who goes to radio award shows on Wednesdays are Muggles.
Almost everyone.
Right, well...
You get the order normally, like...
But if you fall into that category, you've done it. So, your next one.
My next Muggle corner is... Right. So you know how we've been doing the Your Dad jokes?
Yes.
Every third day, someone comes to us with Your Dad sells Avon. The first time I got Your Dad sells Avon, I was like, that's a fucking great Your Dad joke. Like,
But-
it's dynamite.
but is that not
that's
from Still
clearly
Game?
somebody else's thing. Somebody has clearly put Your Dad sells Avon on an internet meme or something, and millions of people keep trying to pass it off as their own. And every time someone puts Your Dad sells Avon as their own material, when it's clearly something that's fucking popular and it's done the rounds, why the fuck are you trying to lie?
Aye.
Why are you doing something that's not yours as a thing that's going to impress people? So anybody that... Right, I've got written down for Muggle Corner, Your Dad sells Avon, but it's basically using someone else's joke as your
Material,
own and
yeah.
hoping to God that they haven't heard it yet so that you get the credit for it. And I've done this before with Cockwomble.
Yeah. Passing off other people's...
Creativity.
Yeah.
When you've got no creative bones in your body.
Also, like... if you're into Lad Bible stuff, and although everything they post is funny, it's all stolen content.
Yeah, and
So-
even sharing that, you're sharing the Lad Bible. But if you copy and paste that onto your own status and try and pass it off as your own, what a muggle! What, you're trying to be funny by copy and pasting someone else's shit?
It's like going through the rest of your life only quoting Shakespeare. You're like, oh, he sounds interesting for 2 minutes, and then
No, you heard it from somewhere else. Yeah, just look, if you're passing on something that you think's funny, pass it on from the source, reshare it from the source. Don't try for a second to claim that it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, you can do spin-off versions. You can make your own version of the joke. But yeah, I fully agree. In the corner, 30 seconds.
You're a muggle if you rip people off and try and pass it off as your own.
Okay, here's my second Muggle corner. Muggles take their agent as a date to awards they've won.
Why are you fucking me up the ass?
Trolley token.
You have a trolley token.
And you have an agent as a date.
My agent?
The only and first and only award you've won in comedy.
I won a Gong Show in 2009, I'll have you know.
Okay.
I won 2, actually. I'm a multi-award winner.
I mean...
One of the best. One of the best in the world. Best that ever did it. World's greatest. The GOAT. Greatest of all time.
Are you done?
I think so.
But you did go with your agent.
My agent, she come to support us.
Yeah, and have dinner with you. She was in a nice dress. You were dressed up all fancy. You met each other before the event, and then you went there with her, and you also left with her. So correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, it could have looked from the outside looking in that she was me date.
Yeah.
But she wasn't, though.
Well,
You
according to, I've not heard her side of the story. I've only heard yours, and you're in denial, which makes me feel, as an honest person, that you might be full of shit right now.
So if you go for a date with your agent, stand in the corner for 30 seconds. I'm not going to be in the corner because I didn't go for a date with my agent. She was just there to support my career, like a good agent would. Thanks, Marlena. You're the best. You're good to me. You're my bae. Mwah.
Right, get on with yours. This is already the worst podcast we've done so far.
Right. Acknowledging International Something Day. If there's ever like an International Hug a Ginger Day,
I mean that sounds specific to you.
Steak and Blowjob Day. Anything where you think it's an international day, oh, it's Star Wars Day, may the 4th be with you. Any international day, it's not a thing.
International my
bandwagon that
birthday,
doesn't exist.
international your birthday. Who decides when your birthday is?
International Suck on Your Mother's Tits Day, any of that stuff. If you're sucking your mother's tits, stand in the corner.
Sucking her tits.
Basically anything that's a like international something day. They're not a real thing. Stop getting behind it.
Well, some of them are.
Like what?
Black History Month.
Is that an actual thing though?
Yeah. In America mainly, but we don't celebrate it over here.
I mean,
because
like,
we deny the fact
is
that
that
we
like
used
saying
to...
Independence Day or Columbus Day? These are legit things.
No. Like, trust me, Britain and Europe used to do a lot of slavery. We just don't really mention it in our books because, yeah, it was fine. Because
So if you need a day about that, fucking knock yourself out. Don't be hugging gingers or sucking your mom's tits. That's what I'm saying.
Are you trying to get rid of Steak and Blowjob Day?
Steak and Blowjob Day. Hold on. Right. This is my point about Steak and Blowjob Day.
Oh, jeez.
Is you can have steak when you want. If you've got a loving relationship, blowjobs are a thing that just happens. Right? You don't need to be like, oh, fuck, 365 days a year, let's have one of them for me steak and blowjob. How about you have steak every fucking time you want steak? How about you have blowjobs every time you and your partner feel like having a blazer? Don't fucking put a date in the diary and think that's it. Am I making a point?
I feel like you think you are.
I mean, I'm very drunk.
I would be.
and
Yeah,
high.
no, I'm not criticizing. I'm just. I'm assisting in the situation. I've
Steak
never
and blowjob
celebrated.
day. The fact that
But
you're making a
I
day out
believe
of
that
it.
everyone uses that day ironically. Like all that day is essentially just so a boyfriend can jokingly or a girlfriend can jokingly say to their partner like, let's take a blowjob day. I don't feel like anyone actually, because to even know about steak and blowjob day, you've got to have a sense of humor. Like my gran doesn't know about steak and blowjob day.
I've had 2 steak and blowjob days
From
this
my
week and-
gran.
I've had 2 steak and blowjob days this week, and it's only Thursday. Only because it's after midnight. It's practically the end of Wednesday. It's a good week. I don't have to fucking.
Is it this
I don't
point?
have to put a pin in the diary.
Is it at this point in the podcast? I would like to mention that unlike for the past 10 episodes, this was the first time in 3 days me and Kai have not been together. So this is the blowjobs he was getting was not from.
That would protest too much.
Yeah, Cream wasn't making Muggins cream, if you know what I mean.
Living the dream.
Right, what's your third one, Mug?
I think I just went last for the snake and blowjob day.
Oh yeah, so you did. So it's my one then.
Snake and blowjob.
Muggles drink Prosecco.
I mean, you are punting a lot of people in the corner.
Oh,
with a
I'm
sweeping
straight
blanket
in.
statement. What the fuck is wrong with Prosecco? Explain yourself, stat.
I mean, it's essentially the posh version of his Pepsi, okay? Like, either Prosecco...
What are you talking about?
Nah, mate.
Prosecco is fucking yummy.
Yeah, no, it is. But champagne is the thing. Prosecco was the cheaper version of that great thing. And because the price of it went down, also the level of celebrations went down. Champagne used to be like, you've graduated, you're pregnant. Maybe not that one, that's a bad example. Yeah, I'll aim the cork at the stomach. Boom!
Let's open this pack of cigarettes and try and kill it.
Happy pregnancy, daughter. But like weddings and all these things, and champagne's expensive as fuck. Now, I don't even like champagne, but when someone's paid that much money for it, I'm going to fucking drink it.
Have you ever enjoyed champagne more than Prosecco? Are you just...
No, I totally have. But the point I'm trying to get to is then Prosecco came out, which is as good. I'm not saying... I'm in the Muggle corner for this. I drink Prosecco. I bought you 2 bottles tonight. I'll drink Prosecco. But it's a muggly-ass fucking thing that you should be oh, we can't celebrate as high as they do. We can't pay as much as they do. So we'll just go... Oh, yeah, one employee of the week, Prosecco. Oh, you've cooked your first... like, his pride.
I'm going to be the man of the people and not let you have this.
Yeah, no, you've just brought like class and wealth into this.
Daniel,
Oh, God, I've ruined the podcast.
you've ruined the podcast.
Oh,
You
shit.
put Prosecco into this. Everybody that listens to this podcast loves the fuck.
I mean, you might be a sleeper cell for your girlfriend who is in a group on WhatsApp, and I quote, called Prosecco Club. So... maybe
Who the
audience
fuck- who the
consider
fuck
that and
hasn't
who's
got
biased.
Who hasn't got a WhatsApp group called Prosecco Club? Oh, what, you're not in one? Oh, did I not invite you into my Prosecco Club WhatsApp group?
I love how that seems like an insult. Like, I'm like, oh, God, I'm missing great Gilmore Girls chat.
Everyone listen to the podcast. They can't see Daniel's defeat in his eyes. The defeat as he realises that he loves Prosecco and he wishes he was in my WhatsApp group.
Well,
Prosecco
look,
Club
you know
WhatsApp
what?
group.
I threw Prosecco out there because, you know what? It is a controversial decision, and controversy got Donald Trump where he is. So, you know what? Fuck Prosecco. I'll throw it under the bus. In fact, even I'll veto your veto.
So this is the Muggins show. You're
Yeah.
here with Muggins.
No cream.
Ignore
Nah.
cream.
Nah.
Ignore cream.
Nah.
These fucking
Mate.
anti-Prosecco.
Mate, I can
propaganda.
unplug your wire.
What a
I can unplug
douchebag.
your wire.
Get
I
the
will,
fuck out of here.
mate, I will fucking... Well, I won't do anything.
Right. So
But
you
we
don't
should
stand
be-
in the corner if you drink Prosecco. In fact, you celebrate with Prosecco that you're not a
Yeah,
Muggle.
but do it near a corner, like the mug you
Yeah,
are.
like eye the corner up and go, I'm glad I'm not in that.
Right. Should we do a quick game of euphemisms and then join and then done?
What, you've got your finger with the pause button, is that what
I've
you're
not
gonna-
I've not pressed it yet.
Right, let's do euphemisms.
Okay, so today's euphemisms game, for those of you who don't know, me and Kai every now and again come up with new euphemisms for euphemisms that we think should have new euphemisms, hence the name euphemisms. See, guys, it's like the word but combined with the other one. See, it is a comedy podcast, technically. So today's euphemisms are wanking and threesomes.
Yes.
I'll go first with wanking.
Okay.
Sore Armistice Day.
So Armistice Day.
Because you've been wanking loads, so you've got a sore arm.
It's
It's
this
just
day.
to say.
And it's shortly after the 11th of the 11th.
Yeah. Which is how many
Not
wanks
to
you
the
can have
soldiers.
until it gets sore.
Not at the dead seamen.
PTSD.
Wanking.
Yeah.
Some Kai and Kai crime.
For me, this might not apply to you, but for me, the two-handed salute.
Keeping the wolf away from the gate.
And delaying the mental breakdown.
As I said, keeping the wolf away from the gate. Unpairing me socks. Do you know when I was in school?
Just before, I will absolutely. You've got the mic after this for at least 2 minutes. Just so you know, I've known Kai for so long, I can tell this is going to be a good story because anytime it just goes back, he gets this look in his eyes of, back in the shudder day.
Yeah, you weren't there, man. So back in Nam,
Yeah.
when I was in school, right, I come home from school like every other day, bag on one shoulder, walk through my door, and I see my mattress in the stairwell stood on its side. I'm a 13-year-old boy. I see my mattress in the stairwell. So instantly, I connect the dots. I'm like, my mum's bought me a new mattress. I've got a new mattress on my bed. I'm not going to go upstairs, and it's just like lats. This is an empty, no mattress, and the mattress is in the stairwell. I'm like, I've got a new mattress. So I go up. Sure enough, I've got a new mattress. Now I've put fresh bedding on the mattress. I lift the mattress up. The socks are gone.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
crusty old fucking boomerang socks.
The poppadoms.
The poppadoms. Man, I've been wanking into socks for weeks and weeks.
Oh.
Putting them under my mattress because I'm a 13-year-old boy.
Wow.
This is what 13-year-old boys do. If you listen to this and you find it disgusting, you've never been a 13-year-old boy. We'll put dirty socks under our mattress. They're like corrugated iron, like boomerangs. We'll put them under the mattress and we'll just think one day eventually they'll go away. Well, one day eventually it did go away because Kai's mattress got changed. And I went up and the fucking dirty socks are gone. And I went downstairs. My mum's just doing her
Was
thing.
just sitting there sucking on them like...
My mum's just there doing her thing, whatever, like fucking polishing her fairy ornaments, whatever she does. And I just act normal. Everything goes by fine. Days and days go by. No one mentions the socks that are under my mattress. Fast forward to when Kai is 29 years old. Christmas Day. My mum gets us a fucking...
Box of crusty socks.
A box of clean socks.
Oh, that's
She
good.
bought me a multi-pack of clean socks and went, and don't use them for dirty things this day. And I look at my mum. Bear in mind, this is like fucking, what? I'm 29. How many years is that later? 16? 13 years later? 16 years later? 16 years
That
later.
means she's been thinking about it since then.
She's been stewing on it, man. She has been stewing on it.
Or wanking on it.
Flicking her bean. Then one day, she fucking put socks on my lap and went, don't use them for dirty things this time. 16 years ago. I'm not connecting the dots at this point. I'm just like, what are you talking about? And you were like, that day I changed your mattress. Asked Kevin, asked your dad. I was like, why are these socks so hard? And my dad's like, I think he's using them as a spaff raglan. I think you've manhandled these fucking jizzy socks. And then puts them in the bin, washes her hands, gets on with her day, gets on with her day for 16 years. And then on 29 years old on Christmas Day, she hands me my socks and she brings that fucking horror story up.
Oh,
I still can't face her. I'm 33. 4 years have passed. Haven't seen my mum.
I mean, what are you going to do on the 16th anniversary of the first time you put your finger in your ass? Which thinks there's a special occasion for that?
Oh, why is Kai's carpet brown in patches? It wasn't a patchy brown carpet when we bought it. Has he got worms? Is he dragging his butt along the carpet like a dog?
Kai the slug. Should we have another joint?
Yeah, pause the podcast. Everyone.
Right, so now euphemisms for threesomes. I'll go first.
Okay.
Testing God's boundaries.
Okay. Euphemism for threesomes. Who the fuck is that guy?
Euphemism for threesomes. The Illuminati 69.
Nice. Pi to the nearest integer. Integer?
I mean,
Integer.
say how you want it, still don't get the joke.
Pi is 3.14, blah, 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 blah. So if you round it to the nearest integer, it's just 3, innit?
Could have just said to the nearest number.
Well, integer's a number.
Oh well.
But I don't know if it's integer or integer.
Euphemisms for threesomes. All you can eat buffet.
What the fuck have I wrote here? I've been very drunk today. I wrote down raising the bat signal for a hero. I don't even know why.
Me neither.
Spoiled the game, if anything. It was almost like someone... My handwriting's so bad. I think Am I okay?
What? And what do you mean?
Like...
And what? To answer this question honestly, I need to know honestly what question you're asking.
Am I mentally well?
By whose standards? My standards or your parents' standards?
Just the world.
Well, what part of the world?
I mean...
Third world or first?
Do people pity me? I feel like I might be mentally ill. Like, I'm looking at my handwriting. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I should go to a special school. Did I just creep into the normal school?
I mean, you did kind of fluke your way into the middle class. I'll give you that.
I'm a class tourist. I fucking love olives. I dip my olives in hummus sometimes. I'm just like,
I mean, that's.
do what I want. Class tourist.
I mean, keep going.
I'm pretty middle class now. Like, of course, I'm fucking. Thatcher took my milk. Thatcher took my milk. She's the milk snatcher. I'm a working class boy. I grew up on the mean streets of Blythe, right? But now I'm just at this point in my life where I'm fucking traveling the world. I'm staying in business class lounges. I'm fucking eating hummus, and I'm just like, God, who the fuck am I? I don't even recognize myself anymore.
And then you dip olives in fucking hummus like a mug.
What?
Who dips olives in mugs?
Try again.
Who dips?
Try again with a slam. You know that slam you just failed?
No, we'll edit this out too. In the podcast, I'll be hilarious. Why are you dipping olives in fucking hummus? Do you run out of bread?
I mean, you try everything 9 times, it works. 9 times. Like whiskey, disgusting. Try it 9 times. Fancy whiskey.
I feel
Is
like
that a real thing? You know, they try it 9 times. And it's
I've
like
never heard of this in my life.
Acquired taste. It's like trying whiskey 9 times, trying olives 9 times. 9 is the magic number for an acquired taste. Is that Stockholm syndrome? Are you trying stuff to the point you're going, yeah, I guess this is my life now?
I think in a...
Is this the first time you've heard of this?
Yeah, never heard of that in my life.
Acquired taste?
Yeah.
9 times.
Well, no, I've heard of acquired taste, but
You know what I found out as well? People scream at the podcast. You know, if we'll like start a story and go, have we told the story before? People go, just tell it anyway.
Yeah, well,
People get
muggles scream at the...
So there's muggles right now going, acquired taste's a thing. You do have
I
to
know
try it 9
acquired
times.
taste is a thing, but the 9 times rule just seems...
There's people screaming at the podcast right now.
Oh, fuck them.
And the people
Get them to
screaming at
listen
the
to it
podcast.
9 times, and then they'll agree with me.
Everyone that's screaming at the podcast right now, they're my tribe. They're tribal tattoos. They're my boys and girls. I've got my back. Who's behind you?
I mean, I feel
Nobody.
like...
People that don't agree with acquired taste that have got fucking Joker off the Batman tattoos. Is that your army?
Yeah. Nerds.
Right, let's meet in the field. Let's get in a battle.
Who's flying the fucking drones, cunts? I've got the nerds on my side. Nerds will be fucking tribe tattoos all day.
Nerds.
Yeah, nerds.
Joker
Like,
tattoo guys.
yeah, absolutely.
People that have got like Daredevil tattooed on
Oh,
them.
all fucking comic book nerds would kill your species.
Bunch of goth chicks that are just trying to
Like,
suck
because
some
you'd be
dick.
turning up with your fucking baseball bats and your fucking knives and stuff, and we'd be like, oh, should we just hack a drone and bomb them all? Like...
I mean, I think you're really overselling yourself on the hacking a drone thing.
No, I'm
Like,
just...
no matter how
I'm
many
overselling my class.
no matter how many people you get that have got comic book tattoos, none of you are hijacking a drone. Whereas everybody with a tribal tattoo that I've got's got a shank. So don't you fucking dare assume that your army of fucking nerds is going to beat my army of fucking chavas from the mean streets of Blythe.
I mean...
Where we're going with this?
I
Next
can't remember.
game.
Oh, I think it's your dad jokes. I mean, we've not done enough time, but I feel like that's a gift to the people.
Right.
Your dad jokes.
Your dad eats jelly out the packet.
Your dad tweets with his toes.
Your dad uses his Christmas card as roach.
Your dad puts helium in water balloons and walks around pretending to be a giant.
Your dad takes his socks off to do... What the fuck is going on with my rating? I swear to God. Your dad takes his socks off to do his times tables. His 10 times tables. You can only get up to 20.
I mean, there was no even point writing that one out. Your dad makes his own honey, but by that I don't mean he makes it with bees. He literally eats flowers for days and then vomits it into your mum's stockings and sells it for £3 at the tuck shop.
Classic Kev. Your dad does push-ups on his knees.
Your dad still wears his high school prefect badge.
Your dad bleaches his hair.
Your dad practices pussy eating for your mum by licking out the residue butter at the bottom of the packet.
Your dad buttons his shirt with his teeth.
It's weird because that's how he unbuttons them too. Only on me though. You should see him get my shoes off when I was 2 years old, like a fucking Rottweiler.
You should see him doing my zip.
Your dad's middle name is Gretchen.
That's a chick off recess.
Right. your dad's first love.
Your dad.
Gretchen from Recess.
I'm trying to slam your dad right now. Keep Gretchen out of
Gretchen's trying to
this.
slam your dad.
It's a cartoon. How can my dad fuck a cartoon?
How can he fuck your mum? These are questions none of us know the answers to.
Linda, if you're listening, you've worked out how to use the internet. I'm proud of you. Your dad's karaoke song is Right Said Fred, I'm too sexy for my shit. And he sings it while I'm buttoning it with his teeth.
Your dad isn't able to lick his eye if you ask him to, but he also isn't able to stop even if you beg.
Right. There's something here.
Like, you act like this is archaeology, like these are old your dad jokes from fucking, oh, there's one here.
I've got one.
You wrote these,
I wrote it with my own tongue.
like, less than an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
With a lipstick that was on my lips, that's how I write it. Right. Your dad gives Halloweeners sweets instead of money. Slamo, worth it.
Your dad redecorated by licking the paint off the wall. We've still got 3 more to go. What are you throwing it away for?
I have a.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, look at that. I've got another page.
Fuck. This is a disaster. Go.
Your dad still wallpapers his jotter.
Your dad collects stamps rectally.
Your dad's Facebook relationship status is it's complicated.
Your dad wanks into his own mouth while in an empty bathtub with the cold tap spraying directly in his hoop.
Your dad wears Crocs, mate. Your dad wears Crocs. He wore them around Disneyland. He collected badges.
With
I'm
his
not even slamming you. I'm just telling you a little fact about your dad.
What do you think I was doing for the past 5 minutes?
Making shit up.
Oh.
Staring shit.
Right, so to anyone who made it this far in the
rumours.
podcast, we know we're finishing early, but you can see why.
Because I'm an award-winning comedian.
Oh.
And the award was free drink.
I mean, sure. You did an award. Congratulations.
I mean, I definitely won an award for the best show on the Fringe. I believe you had a show on the Fringe as well.
I did.
No one remembers second place.
Oh, man.
Third place.
I'll be honest with you.
Fourth. Or 45th.
I sat at home.
Wherever you made it came.
I sat at home crying over the ticket sales the other day. I was like, what does this mean?
Well, what are ticket sales? It's art. What we do is art, Daniel.
Well, what I do is art.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to art.
We are so sorry for this podcast. So sorry that I'm not even going to plug dates for the tour, because if this is the first podcast of ours you've listened to, you don't want to see us live.
No. We've got Punch Drunk comedy gigs coming up.
Oh, we do.
The only people that
Please
could
don't
understand my
refund your
accent in
tickets.
this whole episode were the people of Blythe and Bedlington and Ashton. And we're going to roll through there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Just demolishing the towns. Just bringing the towns down by the bricks and mortar.
I'm so sorry for every part of this. We'll talk to you on Monday. Don't say anything more. Don't. Goodbye. Heal. So this is probably a weird point in the podcast. This podcast has been so fucked because we're so fucked. So we're now just splicing in an extra story because after we finished and we had another joint, you told me a story that made me nearly die with laughter. And although we could wait until
It's the saddest story you'll ever hear.
I want to hear it again.
Well, luckily Jean's in the room, and she wasn't in the room when I told the story to you, Daniel. So I'll tell the story to Jean, and the podcast listeners can eavesdrop.
And I will give a running commentary of shrieking laughter.
When I was a young man, and I say like 18 years old, I used to go down Blythe drinking on a Friday night after my shift. I got paid weekly. I would get my pay. I go down Blythe. I used to go down Blythe with my friend Sean, who's now a policeman, married, 2 kids. He's a beautiful man. He's a good-looking dude.
I've met Sean. He's a very attractive man.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. If
You wouldn't marry him, but yeah.
Jean said, would I just then,
Aye.
if she was lucky.
Yeah.
Right.
If he was feeling down.
Phil Jervis, the same again, fucking handsome boy, fucking works out a lot. He's in fucking amazing shape. So I used to go out with fucking Sean and Phil, who are good-looking dudes, right? And it was one day in Blythe. They both pulled.
Just how were you looking at this point?
I mean, I had a long-sleeved T-shirt on that said "Brits do it best." It said "Brits do it best" on it. I bought it from Burton's. Brits.
Brits.
Brits do it best.
Okay.
That was the T-shirt I decided to wear that day.
But, like, not even overseas, like, literally in Britain.
I mean, this was, like, way before Brexit, way before racism. This was before racism.
Sometimes it is really easy to forget how much Natalie has improved you.
Oh,
I was a child. This story's from when I was 18 years old.
Please keep going, it gets so much better.
Right. So I'm out with Sean and Phil, and Sean and Phil pull immediately, right? And then I went throughout the whole entire evening. They were there kissing girls in the bars that we were in, and I was just like kind of floating into their dynamic and chatting to them, but realised I was cock blocking if I stayed too long, trying to pull. This whole night goes by, I don't pull. I go back home to my house. This story is treacherous. I go back home. I lived with my mum and dad at the time, 18 years old. I get in, like, my mum and dad's in bed. It's like 2 in the morning. I fucking let myself in. I start crying.
And where in the house are you crying at this
I'm
point?
in the living room. I'm drunk. My boys are pulled.
What time is it in the morning?
I'm going to say 2 in the morning.
So you're crying in your parents' living room.
Yep.
At 2 in the morning because your 2 more attractive friends have pulled and you failed to.
Yep. So I'm crying. My mum hears the sobbing through our floorboards.
And she's like, normally that just comes from through the wall. Why is it downstairs today?
Yeah, it's strange. So my mum pulls on her dressing gown, makes her way downstairs, finds our most handsome, attractive, strongest boy, our funniest son, crying in the living room. She's as distraught as I am at this point. She doesn't know what's wrong with me, but our boy's crying. And she went, "What's wrong?" And I took my shoes off. I was wearing some kickers. Right, threw them across the room.
In a tantrum, you threw them across the room.
I was drunk. I was 18. I hadn't pulled. My mates had. Right, threw my shoes across the room. And my mum's like, "What's wrong, son?" I went, "Mum, am I ugly?"
You asked your mum if you were ugly.
I was while throwing my kickers across the room. And she just went, "No, you just got very handsome friends." My mum didn't have a story. She didn't know what had happened. She just went, Kai's went to Sean and Phil. He's not enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's...
The podcast was almost worth it for that little afterthought.
In fact, I feel better about the podcast now that we've managed to add that in properly.
Yep.
I feel like we've saved it.
Well, your one man's junk's another man's treasure.
And your mum is your old man's treasure.
Oh, I spelled it again.
Too much junk in that junk.
Muggins out.
Cream on your face.